I feel very honoured to be the recipient of this award. I just think about all the very talented and impressive Bergman alumni out there doing really, important, great work. And so, college was a really special time for me, those few years at that point in your life. And no, I'm very honoured, and it feels very special to win the award. At the moment, sort of career-wise, I'm in a bit of a transition period because what I'm about to do is go to the bar in Sydney, and I expect that mostly my work will be criminal defence work, which is what I've been doing for the last 8 or 9 years at the New South Wales and ACT Aboriginal Legal Service. So when I finished uni, I worked for 2 years in the court system, 1 year as a tipstaff and 1 year as an associate, which is sort of, I guess, like being the judge's assistant. And that was a really excellent experience right at the beginning of my career because it gave me a bit of an overview of different areas of law, and it gave me a chance to think about what I might like to specialise in. And I decided to move to Dubbo in Western New South Wales and to work at the Aboriginal Legal Service, or the ALS. Yeah, Dubbo was a really, really kind of special experience. It's, the organisation is very under-resourced, and so everyone is really just doing their best to try to provide, the highest quality legal service that we can to some of the most vulnerable members of the community. So yeah, it was very hard at times, but it was also, you really get thrown in the deep end, so you learn a lot very quickly. I lived in Dubbo for a few years, and in Burke, which is a town of 2,000 or 3,000 people in far northwest New South Wales. And I guess I got to see a lot of the country that, I would never have really gotten to see otherwise, like lots of small towns. We went all over places like Walgett and Condobolin, Broken Hill, all over the place. Yeah, I really have enjoyed my time at the ALS, and I'm pretty apprehensive really about moving on to something new because it has been such a wonderful job. I think when people are involved in criminal proceedings, they really have to, that they're in a position where they're really forced to try and share a lot with their lawyer, because you need to try to really understand someone's story to be able to tell it in court and to represent them properly. So I always felt very privileged to be trusted by people to act for them and to be, for them to share so much of themselves with you. So I just learnt, I guess, so much that I wouldn't know otherwise about Australian history and society, and it was really, as I said, just a privilege to be able to do that job for so long. I was in Western New South Wales for a few years, and then I moved to the Parramatta office in Sydney of the ALS, and then the Redfern office. And my last position at Redfern was as a trial advocate, so that it was my job to run jury trials in the district court. And it's that sort of thing that I think I'll be doing when I go to the bar, when I get back to Sydney. I studied arts law, and my major in arts was political science. I was involved in lots of different things at college. I was involved with the Residents Association as a whip and arts rep in my second year. And in my third year, I was the college ombudsman. I was also involved in the Students Association in Anoosa. I was a gen rep and a law faculty rep at different times. But yeah, during that period when I was at uni in Canberra, I guess at least for the first few years, college was sort of the focus. That was a huge part of my life, and still, some of my closest friends now are people who I met at Bergman. But I think I tried to make the most of all the different things that you can be involved in at college. I was 18 when I started uni. I hadn't had a gap year. It was my first time living away from home. I guess it is a really formative part of your life. And so I think the main thrust of it is the people who you meet and the sorts of conversations you have at the dining table at different times, and you get introduced to different ideas and all sorts of activities. And so I think college had a really big effect on my life. And I guess I was sort of exposed at the law school as well to different sorts of social justice projects. And I think that really, I volunteered at the ACT Youth Law Centre for a little while. I think that sort of thing and the types of conversations that I was having people really contributed to my desire to go and work for the ALS in the end, you know, and my feeling that I wanted to try to make some sort of contribution in that way. The best memories I have are from just the coming together in the dining room over meals and as I said, having all different conversations and talking to people. And so I can't isolate one fondest memory, but it's like the collective experience of just chatting to people and learning about different things and the exposure to different things that I think I would say is what I really think fondly of. Make the most of this time of your life, I suppose. It's a time when you have access to lots of different, you know, activities and people, and you have the time often to kind of explore different things. So being as involved as you can and find what things you're interested in and make the most of it. It's not particularly original advice, but I think looking back, it really was. There were so many opportunities, and you don't have that time of your life again, not like that.